All right, creatures. It is. Oh, I was about to say Wednesday. It is Thursday. Thursday night. We have Ring of Honor. This was filmed when they were in Australia over the weekend. Gotta kill a couple of what they call it. Kill two birds with one stone. So go over there doing Collision. Might as well get some Ring of Honor matches done. Got Zeta Steel coming out here. I like this color on her. Green, black, and pink. Christopher Daniels booked and busy. We do appreciate that. Oh no, this is California? No, never mind. I think those are California. I know they're gonna have some things filmed from when they went to Australia. I believe that was at the house show that they were at on Sunday. Okay, I didn't catch her name that Zeta's going against, but her gear is so cute. Would I wear it? Not me, but it's cute. It's cute. Zeta Steel is part of the top flight. So we have another woman in the group. Layla Gray currently injured, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure Layla will be back soon, hopefully. Better than ever. Oh, Johnny Rock. That's Johnny Robbie. Let me see. Johnny Robbie typically have this not what she typically wear. I haven't seen Johnny in a little bit. I haven't seen Johnny a little bit. Johnny, you'd probably see her on like some New Japan show. Definitely one of the girls that came up through the New Japan Academy. I didn't even recognize her. She typically have like a streetwear type of look. Typically. That's why I didn't realize it was her. Hello, Daniel Berry Sport is in the house. Yes, it is Thursday. It is Thursday, almost Friday. Friday is literally hours away. I can't wait for the weekend so I could just sleep in, not be bothered, not be bothered. Zeta Steel is a really great addition to the women's roster. I like the fact. Well, I'm glad that she's had a couple of matches on Collision. I remember she didn't win, but she's gotten some time on Collision. We have some girls and some guys too that we could try to do a little bit more with, especially on Ring of Honor. King Williams is in the house. Hello, how are you? I cannot wait for the weekend. Yes, happy Friday Eve, my friends. Like I mean, I work Monday through Friday, and like I'm one of those people where it's just like I need it to be the weekend so I could literally just relax and not have to worry about this work shit. All right, Zeta Steel with the win. Tony Khan, bring back Johnny again because I kind of like her. Johnny Robbie, I kind of like her. Oh, she looks cute. Yeah, I need the weekend so I could just sleep in. It's so crazy because it's just like you work really hard throughout the week. 5 days you work in, you just get two little measly days off. Two. Horrible. All right, we got a little commercial here with them showing our champion, not Bandito, but MJF. A little bit of a I guess to get people ready for the Revolution pay-per-view, which will be on March 15th. We're just a little bit under a month away from the pay per view. Hey, Jay Millie, what's going on? Have you recovered from? Oh my God, Jay Millie, I barely recovered. And now that you mention it, now I'm remembering it all over again, all over again. Kelly, last night, look, this is going to surprise me to say this, but it's one of those situations where it had to be done. Kenny was a little bit of a sacrifice. It had to be done, and this is one thing that I like about the situation because MJF, who has been doing his thing. He's been the only heel in the situation with everybody that's been, having their eyes out on the title. Where the hell is this at? Is this when this is when they were in Australia, isn't it? I don't know. Well, we got TMDK in the house coming on over. I haven't seen them in a while. Like, I've seen some of the other TMDK guys in New Japan, but I haven't seen these three cuties. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so it needed to be done. It needed to be done. Swerve, has been a babyface for a little bit. And when you think about it and you listen to his theme song he has now, this most dangerous, is most dangerous. He's been saying since he's been back, he's the most dangerous. That might be a little hard to show people how dangerous you are as a good guy. So he finally became real dangerous last night. Kenny Omega was the sacrifice. And he needed that. Now that match was really great. That match was really great. It isn't so important for people to just be like, look, I know we wanted it for a pay-per-view, but it's okay. It's okay that it wasn't a pay-per-view. You can literally tune in on a Dynamite or Collision and see amazing matches like that. So obviously things are not over between Swerve and Kenny. I'm thinking maybe Kenny might be out for a little bit, for a few weeks, maybe. And now we got another heel in this situation. So not just MJF in the title picture as a heel, but Swerve too. Because obviously Hangman is a babyface. Brody King is a babyface. I wouldn't necessarily put Bandito in that situation. Seems like Samoa Joe is out. Who else was in it? Well, Kenny babyface as well. All right, I'm hearing things about Black History Month. Tony Khan, thank you. I know I can count on you. Black History Month, I do appreciate that. So we do have TMDK going against Skyflight. Trios Action, which I do appreciate. If TNA garbage could get a TV deal, ROH need a TV deal, TK do better. I agree. I think they can use the TV deal for sure. While they don't have it right now, this is a time to really, step their game up in terms of, giving a better product before it actually, airs on television. I always wanted, if, once they had got rid of Rampage, that time slot could have been for Ring of Honor. That would have been nice. That would have been a nice time slot. We would have missed Rampage, but we at least would have had that hour being replaced by Ring of Honor, if anything. Oh no, but wait a minute. Well, I mean, now that's SmackDown 3 hours or whatever. Maybe they would have ended up moving it at some point, but still, I think that would have been a great time. There's so much wrestling throughout the week. Monday would be a bad time. I mean, I'm guessing Thursday's the best, right? Thursday on actually no. If you were to put Ring of Honor on TV, what time would you put it? What time would you put it? I'm thinking, because you have to think about like TV in terms of cable. Let's say if Ring of Honor was on like TNT or TBS or something, and they would be on, which is 7 Eastern. Oh, I don't know. Scorpio Sky, I do appreciate seeing you. I really do. We do have Global Wars Canada, March 27th. That is a Friday. If you've never seen Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, I've covered all their shows. And I want to say all their shows are on their YouTube channel. I'm almost 100% sure all of them are there. So if you want to check them out and see what they have to offer, they have been working with a lot of wrestlers. I've seen TNA wrestlers there. I've seen AEW wrestlers there. Maple Leaf also has a partnership. They have an alliance. They have an alliance with Oceania Pro Wrestling and with Qatar Pro Wrestling as well. So they have titles within the alliance that goes between the 3 promotions too. So it's a lot to look forward to. So Ring of Honor will be doing their show with Maple Leaf on March 27th. That's going to be in Canada for anybody who wants to go see the show. And then the next day they do have another show as well. Oh, I forgot what's the name of the show. But I promise you, Maple Leaf, they're really great, really great. Dante Martin putting in that work. Man, last night seeing Gates of Agony with Ricochet talk about the trios titles, I was just kind of getting a little fired up. I was just like, it does make sense because you have, a trios champions in terms of Hangman with what's the name of the group again? Oh, Jet Set Rodeo. Hangman is dead set focused on getting his hands on the AEW World title. It's nice to be ambitious or whatnot, but you still have the trios title, and people want that title. So you better get in the ring and fight. Get in the ring and fight. And a group like, Sky Flight could be going for that right now. Oh, wait, hold on. I see the boys putting in work. Okay. Now I'm still, when you look at Top Flight and Scorpio Sky together, they look like a good team. Well, hold on. I'm about to say, I know we're not losing yet. When you see them together, they look like a great team. I've seen all their matches together. I think they're great. We could work on it a little bit more. So if they're on TV or just at least wrestling consistently as a trios, we'll see them get better. Repetition is very important. That's how we got to the point where we are with like the Gates of Agony. Gates of Agony, they came together as a team. At first, they were just not that great together, but they improved. They got so much better. Remember, they were 6-man tag champions with our boy Brian Cage. Oh, Scorpio Sky, we taking that W. Hold on. Wow. Okay. All right. Skyflight with the win. I thought TMDK was gonna take this little win, which is okay. They needed this. Because they have taken quite a few L's recently, and it's better off that they take a little win here and there. High praises going around for the show, but the main event, the people are loving. Oh yeah, it was a good show last night. Unfortunately, I heard a lot of negative things about the 4-way with the girls, and I was just like, why? I don't know. I don't know why. The wrestling, people don't just get in the ring and everything is 100% perfect. Sometimes they make mistakes or whatnot, and people were pretty harsh from the reviews that I've seen about the 4-way for the TBS title. All right, Mark Davis is coming out. This is from when they were in Australia. Mark Davis, we love you. Oh, all that bleeding, Mark Davis, when he had his finger last night was crazy. John Moxley putting this dude bloody finger in his mouth doesn't really surprise me that Moxley would do some shit like this. It doesn't surprise me at all. Tony needs to fire Excalibur before having anything else about Black History Month. I think he's here to stay. Personally, this is nothing against anybody that work over there. I don't care for the Dynamite team. I don't care for it. They're not fun to me. Like when I watch Ring of Honor, I actually listen to the commentary with Caprice and Ian because they actually are funny. They're funny. They're informative, and that's what you want. The commentary are also supposed to feel like part of the entertainment as well, and I prefer, Ian and Caprice together as a team. They never sound like they're just there. Y'all ever be seeing Shivani sitting there during commentary and he just look like, well, I got my check already. I don't like seeing shit like that. It's like, hold on, they talking about the New Japan show. The New Beginnings, that's going to be in Trenton, New Jersey. Tony Khan, thank you. Thank you for putting that out there. Man, I can't even believe I didn't get my tickets. Because some fuck shit going on with Ticketmaster. I'll make sure that is fixed by the time I get my next tickets. But for anybody who may be interested, they still got a few tickets left for the New Beginnings New Japan show. There will be some AEW wrestlers there. If not, you can watch from home from the New Japan World app. And come check me out. I will be live for that show. Mark Davis, I see he looked like he's been at the gym. I see some differences in the way that he looks. I'm surprised that Ring of Honor isn't on one of the other Turner channels. I'm not 100% surprised. No, not really. Not really. All right, Mark Davis, I see you now. Look, if Mark Davis is amazing. If y'all never seen him with Kyle Fletcher when they were part of Aussie Open, y'all missed out. Y'all missed out. Like these two are one of my favorite tag teams ever, ever. I don't know if we're past them getting back together at some point. Kyle Fletcher has gone on to be doing big things. He's TNT champion again. And Mark Davis, he had I think a couple of injuries and whatnot. Why he throwing him around like this? Damn. He's had a few injuries or whatnot, and during that time, Kyle Fletcher's kept it moving. I would love for them to get back together. I would love for them to get back together so I can see what I'm talking about. This amazing tag team. Tuesday Night War. Wait, Tuesday. Well, they did that, didn't they? They did. What happened? Wasn't NXT on Wednesdays before? NXT was on Wednesday before it was on Tuesday. Am I right about that? I feel like I am. If I'm wrong, let me know. Um, NXT does good in ratings, and NXT, a lot of people still say they find it to be more interesting than the main shows. I don't know how well it would compete. You mean like at the same time? If it's the same time, maybe that'll work out. Mark Davis, we need this win. And that's the thing too, with Mark Davis being part of the Don Callis family, there's so many people in that group. I feel like it might be difficult for him and even some of the other members to stand out with being part of the family. I do appreciate seeing him more often, especially since after a situation with Jake something getting hurt. I'm still crying about it. Still crying about it. Tucker just gave Mark Davis. All right. A little power slam ain't gonna hurt nobody. He ain't gonna win though. He ain't gonna win. Nice cutter, nice cutter. Mark Davis, get up. That was a 2, Ref. That was a 2. And prayers for Aubrey Edwards. If she's all right after that V trigger. Now, if Kenny Omega would have given me a V trigger, I'd be okay with that. I'd take it. I don't got a problem. I'm a trooper. I'm a trooper. People shitting on AEW for Black History Month should talk about AEW. Why are they saying that? They literally were just talking about Black History Month just now. Just now. A lot of people are jumping the gun and saying that they didn't say anything about it, and they did. They actually did. Even on the first day, they had already posted about it before I woke up that day, and I appreciate that. I really do. So I don't know why any hate is going towards AEW about it. Like, if they want to acknowledge it, let them acknowledge it. Whoever don't like it, kiss my black ass. How about that? You might want to, though. You might want to, so never mind. Mark Davis with the win. All right. Well, look. I'm gonna need to see a little bit more. I'm gonna need to see a little bit more. I'm pretty sure they may use Mark Davis this weekend. Did they say this weekend? Was it for Wednesday? To have the Death Riders go against. They said, any one of y'all in the Don Callis family can go against us. So it could be any 3. So it's going to be Pac, Wheeler, Yuta, and Danny Garcia versus 3 members of the Don Callis family. All right, they're showing when Tekla took that title off of our girl, Stat. I'm really surprised that we didn't see anything from Tekla last night. Maybe next week. Maybe next week or maybe this weekend. We have the Sisters of Sin are coming out right now to go against whoever poor unfortunate souls they're going against. I really do appreciate them being here on Ring of Honor because I've been saying while I like them together, I still just don't feel the chemistry yet. So the more that they are in the ring with each other, the better for them as a team. They look great together. They've been together for a while actually. You know, Julia and Sky, they took more seriously the group when hold on. All right. They're going against Frankie B and Aisha. Is one of them girls the girl that took the picture with Andrade? Oh, I'm trying to get a good look. That looked like that might be her right there. But anyway, you know, Sisters of Sin, they've been together before Tekla got into the picture. And since they've been with Tekla, you know, I like them together. I like them with Tekla. But since they're with Tekla, I feel like they should be taking W's. You know, they're with the women's champion. They should be taking W's. All right, Sky Blue, Sky Blue, starting off this match. Sky Blue, Lord have mercy, she looks amazing, absolutely amazing. AEW literally has Swerve beat Kenny Omega yesterday. I think TK isn't doing that bad, but it's okay. That's another thing too. I don't know if people actually expected that Swerve would win. They had really great chemistry with each other, and I wasn't really predicting anything. I really like both of these guys. They weren't necessarily going for like number one contender or anything. So for me, it could have gone either way and it would have been fine. But I think the most important thing outside of them having that amazing match was Swerve, you know, turning heel. That changes the story a little bit, you know, with MJF because MJF been, you know, going him with the title. He's been having, you know, challengers that are all baby faces. So now we got another heel in the story, and I think that works great for the story. Maybe we might see some situations with Swerve and Hangman again in the near future, since all these guys are still going for the title. Okay, homegirl with the pink. I need to do a little research on her. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. Okay, now we have Aisha and Julia Hart in the ring. I think is that homegirl that was taking the picture with Andrade. I gotta see it. I got a good look. I wish the IWC would get their energy towards the pedos in control. That's the major issue, in my opinions. I don't know if people have that where people have their priorities. Why would we rise against pedos, right? Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree. Everybody come together and get the ones that really matter. Hey, let's go. Let's go. I think that is the girl that took the picture with Andrade. I didn't catch her name when she took the picture with him. Um, y'all now y'all seeing Andrade every time he comes out. He got little girls, some girls standing there, you know, going to get their little pictures and filling up on him and everything. That's a little interesting. That's a little interesting. I don't know too many women who are into Andrade like that, but he's not bad looking. He's not really my type, but he's not bad looking. Let's go, Julian. Let's get this win. See, if they really want them to improve as a team, I know they're going against local talent or whatnot, but like, don't no squad situation, so we can actually see what they can do as a team. Because you want to make sure that when they do go against, you know, some of the bigger name girls on the team, that they'll be able to go against them. You know, other teams like the oh dang, what's the name of the Brawling Birds? They looked great last night. You know, Jamie Hayter and Alex Windsor look great. So, you know, we're moving things up in terms of the women's tag division. So Julia and our girl Sky are gonna have to put in a lot more work. And having them on Ring of Honor, I think will definitely help, you know, get that repetition in terms of them getting that chemistry to be better as a team. A lot of y'all forget Julia Hart had the TBS title. Last night we were talking about titles, and some of y'all seem surprised to remember that Julia did have the TBS title. I won't be here fighting to keep Excalibur on commentary. He can go for me. Time for Ian, Dennison, and Nigel. Yes, Ian, I would love Ian to come on Wednesday, or even for Collision. Caprice too. I love Nigel. Nigel can stay. Absolutely. Nigel is entertaining. And then he gives that heel energy as well on commentary, which we don't always get. You know, we don't always get with everyone else. Once in a while, Taz do a little heel turn on commentary, and that's it. That's it. But Taz, you know, he's been here and there. He's been here and there. Sky, let's get this win. So far, I mean, you know, they look good. They look good individually, but I want to see more teamwork of them together. Together. Zilafatu giving interviews talking about he's wanting to go over there a day before he faces the AEW. Go over where? To AEW? Where are you going? Because the show is tomorrow, isn't it? I think the show is tomorrow night, and they have another show for HOG on Saturday too. I believe that's a show where the Acclaimed and some other people are going to be at. So that's going to be going on this weekend with House of Glory. Thank you for not being a squash match, so I can see what these girls can do. I love Julia's look, by the way. I love her pants. It's a good look for her. When you think of Julia, when she first started, the little cheerleader thing that she had going on, I was bored as hell. We all were. We all were. That's one of those situations where you try to take something that's part of your life in real life and make it a gimmick. I mean, sure, it works in real life, but that's something you're good at. But other than that, you know, trying to incorporate that with wrestling may not work. To be a cheerleader, I didn't care for it. Didn't care for it. Why are you going to have your world champion face someone like Zilla? That can't make a WWE NXT bloodline out of his mouth. This is why I can't support TK's decision. I don't know how much of it is his decision. I'm guessing it should be. You know, if that's your world title, you'd want to know, like, oh, hold on. Homegirl is doing some little dance. It's very interesting. She cute. I'm going to do a little research on her. Every time I see someone I like, I just go look for them on Instagram. There is actually a Instagram account. It's called AEW Enhancement, something like that, where they show the enhancement talents that they use on, you know, AEW Ring of Honor. If anybody wants to know like who they are and whatnot, and I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right, a super kick to the face. Let's wrap it up, Sky. All right, let me see what their finisher is. They got a little combo finisher here. No, I'm not feeling the finisher. We gonna work on it. Sky, Julia, we will work on it. I don't know. It's giving basic to me. Now look, they're doing more than I can do, but I'm just saying, if y'all looking for my opinions, we need to work on it. We need to work on the finisher. Oh, Dalton Castle and the Outrunners coming up next. Okay. Mark, don't forget about me, Davis. Jamie Lee, don't do that. And when, let me tell you something. Last night I watched back what what's his name said. Hangman talking about, oh, your hairline. What he said, I don't know what sticker your hairline or Mark Davis. I was like, why y'all gotta bring him into it? He over there minding his business. Y'all talking about how thick he is compared to fucking MJF hairline. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Here come the Outrunners. The Outrunners are a really great team. Yo, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I do enjoy them. I am not huge on them with Dalton Castle. You know, individually everybody's cool, but together as a team, I haven't seen anything that made me go wow yet. I just haven't. So we got a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Moxie spent a whole year elevating the company and the belt. Hangman had the amazing ending plot with him saving the belt from Moxley, just to have MJF shit on it facing NXT talent. NXT talent, Fletcher. Kid Williams said, yeah, when NXT had Keith Lee and Adam Cole, baby, they were, yes, that was Wednesday. They were on Wednesday. And they obviously, ended up moving the show on to Tuesday. So that probably wouldn't work um to have a Ring of Honor on a Tuesday if it's going to be on at the same time. The same time. All right, we have local talent. I don't know who they are. I obviously am sure Australia got their own wrestling scene. There's a lot of great wrestlers that we see in the U.S. that are from Australia. So I don't know their names, but they're going against enhancement talent. Let's see what they can do. Dalton Castle, they got the boys. They got all these boys. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boys. I do appreciate the talent. I do appreciate the talent. They're slowly taking off his little jumpsuit. Dalton is so fucking funny. I love him. I love him. Dalton, he's funny, but let's try to get some titles. Let's try that. Keep your company safe, TK. You have more talent. You don't have to give everything to MJF. I know a lot of people are saying that, but let's be real. This is MJF's second title reign with the world title. So when you think about it, it doesn't seem like it's too much. But he had the title for over a year, right? His first title reign. The problem is that a lot of people feel like they have reached the ceiling with MJF in AEW. There's been times where I felt like that, but I feel like if they can keep stories fresh, they can still keep him relevant in the company. So maybe he hasn't hit the ceiling. Yeah, Dynamite kicked NXT off Wednesday, and it worked. It worked because they knew that long term that there wasn't going to be able to keep this thing going. Now, I don't remember what the viewership used to look like during that time. I honestly don't be looking for things like that. But obviously, it's a business decision because they're realizing that, hey, another big wrestling company has a show on at the same time. We might as well move to another night. So, NXT moved on to Tuesday. Okay, so their opponents got some Gucci inspired gear going on here, which is cute. It's cute. Tyler's here. Hey, Tyler, how are you? It's clear that MJF is literally using this run to feed his WWE journey. Dude, since he won the belt, can't stop talking about CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and WWE. Shouldn't he be the face of AEW? I haven't heard any interviews or anything that MJF has been doing. So I don't know what he's been talking about outside of in the ring. So I know he did a interview with Chris Van Vliet, I think, or was it earlier this week or something, or last week? I didn't check it out, so I'm not sure what he said. Okay, I don't know who these guys are in the ring, but I'm gonna have to get my Instagram ready to do some research. I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. All right, Truth Magnum getting chopped up. Oh, now he's doing the chopping. He's going around and giving everyone a chop. Sharing is caring. It is. Oh, they're cheating. I do appreciate some cheating in the ring. I do. Maybe Dalton Castle should get some matching gears with the Outrunners, maybe. I think Swerve pops at Collision to Crew. Hangman, the trios will be going to the Demand, Swerve, and Demand feud against the Elite, Hangman, Omega, and Bucks. Ending their feud with the Elite taking back. No, the trios titles, Fletcher, please. No, thank you. That's a lot going on, to be honest with you. Hangman. Okay, remember Hangman said the whole thing about if I lose, I'll never go for the world title as long as I'm in this company or whatever the hell he said, which is so dumb. He should have never said that to begin with. Hopefully, we can all just forget that he said that. Now, if he loses, then he's definitely going to have to focus on the title that he does have, which is the Trios Championship with Jet Speed, which he should be doing anyway. I actually don't care for the title on Jet Speed and Hangman. You know, we have other teams that are around that can use it. I don't mind. You know what? I was gonna say I don't mind the demand, but Ricochet does have the national title. And to be honest, I've barely seen anything with this title. You know, I know it's been around for a few months, but I would love to see a more focus with this title. I would like to see a lot more. All right, all right. I love when they do this. You oh, never mind. No son of a bitch now. Where is Dalton? I don't know where he at, but he laid out somewhere. You know, like I said, we got other trios too. You know, we got Sky Flight. I wouldn't mind. Oh, the trios title. I don't know about that. I don't know about that yet. I would need to see more of them as a team. Like I said, the man, that's another great one. I feel like when we wanted the trios titles, they were more trios. I don't know. Put the trio titles back on the Elite. If that gets the Young Bucks out the way for the tag titles, maybe I would be okay with it. I'm tired of seeing the same champions. That's my problem. I don't want to keep seeing the same people with titles. So I'm bored with the whole thing with FTR and the Young Bucks. So I'm just like, we have other teams. We have other teams. Oh, the Outrunners might just take an L. They might lose. Probably not though. Probably not. If y'all didn't see, they posted on social media like after the whole situation with Kenny going through the announce table. After that, they had I think the doctors and the Young Bucks was over there checking in on them. And I'm just like, so where were y'all? Where were y'all when we needed y'all? Y'all popping up after the show long done? Long done? All right, Dalton Castle tags in. All right. We're giving out suplexes. I appreciate this very much. Oh, he's big. He's huge. Let's go. Dalton don't be playing. He's strong. Oh, they're about to wrap it up. They're about to wrap it up. Who is that? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay. I like this team. The team that they're going against, I ain't catch their names, but I like them. And this is for a while now. The Outrunners and Dalton, they've been pretty much doing like squad situations on Ring of Honor. This is the longest match that I've seen them in. I'm thinking this is probably the longest match. So this is what I like to see. This is what I like to see. Keith Lee doesn't want to wrestle. He's one of my biggest disappointments since coming to AEW. I don't believe he's still hurt, injured for 2-3 years. His wife and WWE, another Buddy Matthews. Oh, Fletcher. I don't think it was an injury. I think it was an illness, like something like a medical issue or something like that. From what I remember, this was a while back, So I don't know what the situation was. I think they said they say he had COVID and maybe there was like long lasting effects from that. Something like that. You son of a bitch. I love that. Yes, cameraman, zoom in. Oh, he kind of sat on his face. Interesting, interesting. Outrunners Dalton with the win. Fletcher said that's why I hated the decision of letting MJF face Zilla. Give Zilla Ricochet if he wants it. Ricochet, ain't he gonna be at that show too? Tomorrow or Saturday? No, tomorrow I think. Yeah, I would have did that. I would have did an international title. Not international. What title is it again? National title. Ricochet and Zilla. That probably would have seemed a little bit more safe. Oh no, they're showing the whole situation, the hair versus hair match situation. Poor Wheeler Yuta did not deserve that at all. Poor Wheeler. Now he's bummed. John Moxley, they're showing John Moxley in the corner just looking so disappointed. Like, my son is a disappointment. He stayed disappointing me. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. What's the next comment? I want to see Marina Shafir and GCW Bloodsport. Oh, that would be great. That would be great. The heel swerve is where the money's at, not babyface swerve. I like both. I'm cool with it. I think it's just because of the situation that we do have quite a few baby faces. What's another heel in the company? What's another heel in the company? That's what I like to see. Like I said, Kenny, we love you, but somebody had to be the sacrifice, and it's Kenny Omega. Who else would have had worked on even better? Everybody loves Kenny Omega. Nobody hates Kenny, so that worked out. That worked out. All right, Mina Shirakawa coming out. Either that or join Kevin Knight as the young blood in the Hurt Syndicate. Hurt Syndicate, I almost forgot about them. How could I forget about them? They've been out for a little bit. Shelton, I think the last match Shelton had was the match with Moxley, wasn't it? That might have been the last match he had. Bobby been out for a little bit. But I've seen some pictures of Bobby working out at the gym, which we do appreciate. So, he's working on it. He's working on his health right now. So I can't wait till they come back. They could take someone like Kevin Knight under their wing without having to sacrifice Kevin to be a heel, because Hurt Syndicate, they're tweeners, even if they wanted to be the bad guys, you'll still love them anyway. So I wouldn't mind seeing Kevin with Hurt Syndicate, but then we leave Mike Bailey alone. So I don't know. I think Mike and Kevin are good together for now. For now. I'm trying to remember what Mike Bailey is like by himself, because he's pretty much been with Kevin this entire time since he's been here. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about Mike Bailey just doing his own thing on his own. He's not strong with promos. That much I can tell you. He's not strong with that. Kevin, he's okay, but if Kevin were to be with the Hurt Syndicate, more of the talking would be with MVP and the other guys. I can see Samoa Joe as an AEW commentator after retirement. He was good at commentary when he had that job in WWE. He's not bad, but you mean like full time? I don't know. Full time, I don't know. And y'all see, Samoa Joe doing his thing in terms of acting. He might get more gigs coming up in terms of being on other shows and whatnot. So maybe y'all know how it is. Wrestlers turn actors and things like that. I could see that being more of a situation for Samoa Joe. Mina, I love these colors on Mina. This blue, this red, this white. She looks great. As much as I like her, I thought the whole thing with her being with Toni Storm was cute. I'm bored now. I'm calling it now. Darby Allin versus Gabe Kidd, Part 2, AEW Revolution. Look, y'all know I love Gabriel Kidd. Darby Allin, I know I don't say it, but I love Darby too. I don't care to see them again one-on-one. I don't care. If Darby finds a friend that's willing to fight with him and do a tag situation with Darby to go with the War Dogs, then I'll take that over a one-on-one match with Darby and Gabe. I just, maybe, you know what it is? When they had their match, they were on a really strong card. Maybe because everything else around that match was great, and kind of happened sort of last second. Maybe that's what the situation is. So I wasn't feeling it that night. So right now, I'm not interested in seeing them one on one. I don't care for it. But a tag situation where Gabe and Clark Connors could, team up to go against Darby and whoever else want to be his friend that night, probably work out better. Maybe at Revolution or whatever other pay per view. It should be TK's decision. That's his world champion. He should make the call. And if MJF asks me to face Zilla, a motherfucker that keeps talking about WWE, NXT, and Bloodline, I would immediately say no. I'd be honest and say I would also say the same. I would also say the same as well. In a situation like this, I think some people might say, well, if you are the president or whatever of a promotion, you shouldn't have a say so in terms of what happens at another promotion. That also is kind of true too. But if it's the world title on the line or just their top guy going against someone, I feel like it just can't be anyone, not just anybody. I think I would choose wisely. Let's go, Mina. She did her thing last night. Mina was the one who got pinned during the TBS match. Well, it was an inside cradle. I hate that. I don't like inside cradle, small packages, and all this shit. It's an act of desperation, and I felt like it looked like Willow was just like desperate for the win. They got rid of Marina Shafir when Megan tried to put her through the table. And then, we had Megan got taken out. So Willow was just like, hey, let me make sure I get to retain my title. So it is what it is. As long as you get to retain your title and be champion another day. But she still has the tag titles to also defend too. So that is something that she's going to have to juggle, being the TBS champion and the AEW World's Women's Champion. That can't be easy. It can't be easy to do both. Ricochet could face Zilla. He's not the world champ. I agree. Robert Brown. Hello, Robert. How are you? Turkish Hairline Friedman at your service. Hey, you're going to get blocked. You're going to get blocked. There's no MJF slander here. I know I love MJF. Yeah, I know I love MJF. There's an upcoming Australian talent that has been red hot. He was with AEW talent at the end of the show during their dance. Who? I don't know who you're talking about. Let me know his name. I might know who that is. All right, Mina, let's get this win. Let's get this win. Dalton needs to go to WWE and be with Pretty Deadly. Oh, you know what? That's not bad. Pretty Deadly and Dalton Castle, that's not bad. But I still feel like the best combination would have been MXM with Dalton Castle. Oh, I think like the stories and the shenanigans would have been wild. I would have loved to see them together. I would have liked that. It's not too late. It's not too late. Dalton Castle and the Outrunners versus STP for the 6-man tag. That would be. I feel like they are gearing for that, but I need to see so much more with Dalton and the Outrunners together as a team. I feel like I just not seeing enough to make me feel like, yeah, let them go for the titles. I haven't seen enough. I haven't seen enough. Tati, this is MJF's second title. Yeah, but shouldn't MJF be promoting AEW? Well, I haven't seen his interview, so I don't know what he's been saying. And not talk about how cool he said that WWE is cool and how he hates Punk to keep the flame red hot for when he jumps to WWE. I think he's, regardless, I think he's always going to say that about CM Punk. I don't know. All I know is I wouldn't be surprised if people within AEW end up going to WWE and vice versa, with people from WWE end up going to AEW. I'm seeing a lot of people feel like they actually like that. The fact that there are other options, big promotions to go to. But I would agree and say, like, if you are champion somewhere, your most important job is to promote where you are champion at, which is AEW for MJF. All right, nice drop kick from Mina Shirakawa. It looks like she's about to wrap it up. But he's trying to wrap it up. All right. Her finisher is a figure four, isn't it? I know she does more than that. It has to be more than that. Heel swerve, perfect time to join SCP with him. Oh, to join SCP with him to feud with the Elite. That would actually not be bad. I don't think they would do that though. I really don't think they would do that, but that would not be bad. Bubba Ray Jr. had John Cena this week. Ice Cube son. Nah, I'm not a fan. Ice Cube's son making fun of AEW being on HBO Max was something I what? What's there to make fun of? They're not just on HBO Max; they're also on TV, TNT, TBS. So what's there? I don't know what y'all. I feel like people are just complaining to be complaining about shit. I don't understand what the problem is. So they're simultaneously on the app for people who don't feel like paying for cable, and for those who have cable, you can also watch it at the same time that it's on Max. That's not a problem at all. So I don't know what's there to be making fun of. Mina, let's wrap it up. Oh, this is it. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Mina with the win. That was very expected. Very. Okay, Tati, when Swerve pops up at Collision to cause Hangman the Trios, I'll be here. Yes, be here. Be here. If he does that, I'm cool with it. I got no problem with it. If that means that we get new Trios champions, I'll take that. I'll take that. Ricochet defending the AEW National belt at HOG, and yes, and New Japan. That is, I think, next weekend for the New Japan show. Yes, for New Beginnings next Friday, he'll be there. So it's not like Ricochet is doing nothing. You know, he's still got that little thing going on with Jackson Perry. He's still got that going. But I know a lot of people kept thinking, all right, the national title was a title that whoever's champion will just be going from promotion to promotion, putting the AEW national title on the line. I don't know how many actual title defenses that he has had outside of AEW. Maybe one that I can actually, just one, maybe. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'd rather have the trios on the demand instead of Team TK created randomly, Hangman with Jet Speed. Yeah, I agree. But they had to do that because, you know, Powerhouse Hobbs was leaving, so that's all they can do. They had to make up something. You know, I think they probably knew that Hobbs was going to be leaving shortly anyway. So they put these guys together. It was random. If you go back and watch that, they kind of randomly came together. You know, they're not a bad team together when you look at them. It's just the fact that Hangman has obviously priorities elsewhere too. That's interesting. You know, Jet Speed also talked about, oh yeah, we can go for singles titles too. And I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? So is the trios titles just for decoration? You know, like let's put those on the line. All right, main event. Main event, the captain, Sean Dean, going against our boy from TMDK, Robbie Eagles, our IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. We put in that word, TMDK. We worldwide, baby. We are world. I need me that TMDK tracksuit that New Japan's selling. I need that. Where's AR Fox got injured. When he got cleared. Hold on. I must have missed that post because I do be trying to follow the ones I like closely. I don't remember hearing that AR was cleared. If he is, then that's great because he got injured a while back. I would love to see him back. If AR Fox can come back, that would be great. He is, and y'all know me, I'll be watching AEW, so I'll be watching everybody. I think he's one of the best wrestlers that they have. However, it is a big however, he needs time on the mic. He needs time on the mic, and he needs a great feud with someone to really help elevate him as a character. I think people definitely know, like, okay, this is an amazing wrestler. Y'all never been disappointed by AR Fox. Never. He be putting in that work. The issue is the character or lack of a character. So we need more of AR Fox. And he said it himself. He's like, I'm not great at promos or whatnot. And there's a lot of wrestlers that are like that. They're great wrestlers, but they don't have the character that people can gravitate towards, or they might not be great with the promos or whatnot. And I understand that. But the more he's on TV, the more that he is, having an opportunity to be in front of the crowd or even doing pre-recorded promos, he'll definitely get better. Or y'all get him a manager. If he needs that, get him a manager, but push him and some of the others that are really great wrestlers. Foxy Kingdom. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot about that. Foxy Kingdom. Just joined AR with SCP, Tony Khan. Why he's with the Kingdom? Well, the Kingdom, from what I heard, I don't actually really know. They said that Matt Taven isn't with AEW anymore. I really don't know. But we haven't seen the Kingdom in months, at least on AEW Ring of Honor. And then obviously AR Fox has been injured, so we haven't seen these guys in quite some time. Like I said, maybe a manager. He could use a manager for a little bit, but he's definitely one of the best wrestlers they have. All right, Robbie Eagles putting in work. We got 2 champions here. Remember, Sean Dean does have the 6-man tag titles along with Carly Bravo and Shane Taylor. I love that shirt that he's wearing. I need to buy me a SCP shirt. Like, why not? Why not? International belts at HOG. No, not international. I meant to say national. I meant to say national. Okada, that's a thing, because like other people before Okada was putting the title on the line internationally. And in one of the best runs, I really did feel like Takeshita with the international championship was one of the best runs that AEW has had in terms of someone with a title. People just did not see it because I want to say, was it majority or about like half the matches that he had were at other promotions, and he tore it up. I seen every single match that Takeshi had with that title, and he is one of the best champions that they've ever had. It's one of the best runs that any champion has ever had with an AEW title. 100%. 100%. And here is what the fuck? Sean Dean giving the BBC like I make it up or nothing. That's what he said. BBC. That's what he said. Fletcher says, I want Nina. Yes, we all do. Get in line, Fletcher. You can go in line after me. The Hurt Syndicate is currently hurt. Laugh my ass up. Fletcher, don't do this. Don't do this. Mike Bailey would survive. That's the type of dude for the Continental Classic. He did. I forgot what he did in terms of the numbers for the Continental Classic, but he did well too. Kevin Knight did really well. Remember, he's one of the ones that beat Okada in that tournament. So, both of these guys have promising futures, right? The thing is how would they do without each other? They are okay in terms of promos. I've never been wowed by them in terms of what they say, but they look good though. They look great. So that counts for something. That counts for something. Sean Dean really trying to get this win. He's really trying to get this one. I'm actually surprised this is a one-on-one situation. They could have did TMDK with STP. Probably put the trios titles on the line. They could have did that. They could have. No. I think the last time they were in Australia, I believe they did Robbie with who's our pure champion again? Lee Moriarty. They've already did that last time. Okay, I get it. They wouldn't do that again. They're making a lot of noise for Robbie. Robbie is from Australia. Wondering if MJF will ever do a Hollywood MJF gimmick. I wouldn't be surprised. He's only did the Happy Gilmore movie. I believe y'all said he was filming something else while he was out. I think somebody said a horror movie, a Christmas horror movie, or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was exactly. Other than that, has he been in anything else? MJF? I don't know. I don't know. See, and I really like both of these guys, so I'm not necessarily cheering for anyone in particular. Whoever wins, wins. You know, it is important for Sean Dean to take the win because he is a Ring of Honor champion, and he's, you know, we in our house right now. Robbie is the guest, but Robbie's an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, so and you know he needs this win too. Oh, that was almost a three. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, you know, when they had announced that they were doing the Australia show, Robbie actually wanted to go against MJF. Obviously, MJF had other things that he's doing. He's busy with the whole thing, you know, with the what was he doing? He was with Brody King. So he was doing that match with Brody King. So obviously there wasn't going to do Robbie versus MJF, but that would have been a cool opportunity to see these two go at it. Brody King said he'll be back next week. Next Wednesday he'll be back. And another thing too, like I don't know what y'all talking about. Oh, the whole situation with Brody King and the fuck ice situation. Like people are just they're basically going based off what Dave Meltzer said, which is bullshit. Absolute bullshit talking about you know, they're gonna keep Brody King off of TV because of the whole ice chance or whatever. And I'm just like, but he's literally on TV. He's literally on TV. And when they did the show from Australia this past weekend, it was taped. So when the whole ice chance thing happened, they could have blocked it, they could have bleeped it out or whatever the hell, and they didn't do that. So it's not a problem to the network. Like there's nothing that the wrestlers can do in terms of what the crowd is chanting. Y'all can't do anything about that. They're booing, they're cheering, they're saying shit that has nothing to do with the show. Then it is what it is. Robbie, we taking a win? Hold on. No. Sean, the rope is right there. Don't tap. Why did he tap? He's right there next to the rope. He was too close. If he was in the middle of the ring, then I wouldn't have said nothing. He was literally right there where he could have grabbed onto the ropes. But our boy, our boy, take the win. Robbie Eagles, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. As many AEW talent goes into other promotions over the weekend, AEW should consider a few intimate house shows. Yes, I've been saying this for so long. I've been saying it for so long that they should do it. I don't know. You guys remember they did have a period of time where they did try it. I don't know how that actually worked, you know, if it was successful or not. I feel like they don't have to do it on a weekly basis. They don't have to do it weekly. I think they should consider it depending on the area that they're going to be in, where they know it could be successful. So some of their more popular areas like Chicago and New York area, Florida, I think, Texas, I think, these places, California, I don't know how well they do in terms of when they go to California. Maybe it depends on where in California. Fletcher told me earlier that they sold out last night in the Sacramento show, so maybe that's a good area for them to be at. But then again, we did have Swerve and Kenny Omega in the main event, so I think that definitely made sure people came into the house last night so that they could get to see that with their own two eyes at the show. But yes, house shows I think would be great. A lot of people can use the house shows. One thing that I feel like is so important about having house shows are for trying new things. So let's say if they wanted to try a new gimmick with somebody, and instead of trying it on TV, you can try that at a house show and get a feel of how the crowd is taking, you know, this person and whatever character that they're doing or whatnot, or try a little feud or whatever. It's really important because you can experiment when it comes to house shows without having to what's that word I'm looking for? Without having to commit to doing something because you're on TV, you know? I think it would work out if they did. So I think that would work out. So maybe, like I said, California, maybe depending on where. LA, hmm. LA might be good for them. Sacramento, like I said, they did well. They sold out last night, which was good. I think it was over 3,000 something. I forgot the number, but that was good that they were able to do that. They were where they were last week. They were somewhere else in California. They're actually going to do a couple of more shows in California in the next few weeks. So they have to pay attention to the numbers in terms of where are we doing our best, and then here and there they can throw out an extra show for a house show, and I think that would work out. They have to play around with it, but then again, you think about their schedule that they have. The wrestlers can literally be on the road for just Dynamite or for just Collision, and I think that's another thing that people do consider in terms of if they want to go to AEW. Do I want to be on the road a lot, being part of another promotion, or do I want to take it easy and possibly just be, on the road one day of the week or 2 days maximum, So it really depends. It really depends, but they can use it. MXM with Dalton would be money, but TK want Johnny Elite. No, but look, I do like Johnny with MXM. So I feel like he works with them too. But I think overall we probably see better chemistry with Dalton and MXM than with the Outrunners. Outrunners, we love you. It's nothing personal. I'm just saying, if we had options, I would definitely choose MXM. MJF even talked about Roman, saying he wasn't going to speak bad on Roman because he's a Paul Heyman guy. MJF respects Paul Heyman. Probably, I'm not surprised about the Paul Heyman situation, but I don't know. He said all this in that interview that he did. Was he? So it sounds like he probably wasn't in character, or he was more like just talking as himself, maybe. Talk about Kyle Fletcher, talk about Hangman, talk about Bobby Lashley. Don't talk about Punk, Roman, or Rollins while you hold it. Oh, he had the AEW title too. I get you on that. I get you on that. Dude that only is known due to his dad and performing his dad role on NWA Straight Outta Compton movie. Oh my God. I'm just reading comments. I'm just reading. Baby Cube wouldn't even be acting if it wasn't for his daddy. I liked him in that movie, but there's some people that just like, I mean, he was playing his dad. Like, what you thought you were gonna get an Oscar or some kind of award for it? It's okay. It was okay. Who's Ricochet fighting? Oh, Taji Ishimori. Taji Ishimori is part of the War Dogs. So that's one of like Drilla and Gabe people from one of his group. He's really, really great. He definitely complements Ricochet's style. So that's going to be probably it's going to be like, I'm thinking probably like one of the top 2 or 3 matches of the night for sure. 100% sure. AR Fox been killing it since Lucha Underground. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, hold on, Dante Fox versus Killswitch, one of the best. Yes, absolutely. They're probably Lucha Underground's probably most known for that match. Really, AR Fox could be where Swerve was at. Remember when Swerve did the whole thing? Y'all remember that dumbass thing that so basically, Prince Nana had revived the whole NBC thing. If you know the Ring of Honor history, then you know what I'm talking about. They pretty much revived the whole NBC thing. And Swerve had, I forgot, the white boy with the tattoos all over his face. Forgot his name. And then there was the other one who used to be in WWE. Damn, why can't I remember these people's names? Oh my God. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. So those 2 guys were with Swerve, and immediately I was just like, "What is this, Tony? Why are these people with Swerve?" But whatever. Then they brought in AR Fox into the situation. AR Fox came in there. AR Fox kind of had his little thing with Darby or whatever, so it was perfect. Then they incorporated the whole thing with AR Fox and Swerve. They went to Nick Wayne's house. Remember, they beat the shit out of Nick Wayne and whoever else that was over there. And they had that whole story thing going into, I want to say, All In. And then whatever the hell happened. Do y'all remember that All In? Where all of a sudden nobody had their papers to go to the UK. Nobody they have their passports and everything, and all these matches that were supposed to take place at All In, things got switched around because people didn't got their shit together or whatever. I don't know, whatever the situation was. AR Fox couldn't go. Ray Phoenix and them couldn't go. Whatever was going on. And so since he couldn't go, who was in that match? Who was in that match instead of AR Fox? I can't remember, but he wasn't there. And when they came back, instead of continuing the whole thing with still incorporating AR Fox to be part of the Mogul Embassy, they didn't even do that. Like AR Fox was like completely wiped out of that whole motherfucking story. Literally. And I was just like, so we're just gonna pretend that this wasn't happening? If they had kept that momentum going with AR Fox being part of that group, who knows where that could have taken them? The whole situation with Swerve and Prince Nana getting together was absolutely gold. One of the best decisions that they've ever made in AEW. And I am so glad that Prince Nana and Swerve are still together, because we had that moment where it seems like they was probably going to break up, but they didn't. So I'm glad that that wasn't the case. But, overall, like a situation like that, this being with the right people can help your career take off to better places. And I really do feel like if AR Fox would have been able to stay with Swerve and Prince Nana, God knows where that would have gone for him. Powerhouse Hobbs has only been wrestling on WWE Main Event. His new name should be Main Event Royce Keys, and feud with Jey Uso, the battle of the main events. But C Fluid, hell no. Y'all don't even want that. You saying this and you don't even want this either. I know people are surprised about this. I think people were hoping that, either straight to NXT. He has a lot. Do y'all not see that roster? There's a lot of stars over there. I don't know how it's going to work out for him being on the main roster. I know it sounds crazy to say that he's on Main Event. As long as it works out for him in the end, I'm not necessarily bothered about it. I just want it to work out long term. Hopefully there's a long-term plan in terms of him, going through Main Event and then working his way up to the main roster. Like I said, Powerhouse Hobbs, if they don't treat you like how I would treat you, then baby, I don't even know why you're over there. I don't know. Book of Hobbs versus Yeet Man. You know what? Oh my God. Agreed, Tati. I remember Takeshita defending the international belt and Maple Leaf. Yes, he was amazing. He went to CMLL, Maple Leaf, New Japan. I'm trying to think if he went somewhere else. He was absolutely amazing. He had some of the best matches, of any champion with any AEW title. And I just feel like it was underrated because he was doing exactly what the title is there for you to go internationally. Just like Pac. When Pac had the All-Atlantic title, he was doing the same thing. And unfortunately, people wasn't seeing all his matches. That's the problem. So I know a lot of y'all don't remember Pac with the All-Atlantic title because majority of his reign with the title were international matches. And what happened was when he lost to Orange Cassidy, it became the international title. So what they did with Orange Cassidy, I don't know if y'all remember, and Orange Cassidy was going against wrestlers that were considered like international wrestlers that would like represent another country, like, someone from Mexico or Japan or whatever and all that stuff. That's what they ended up doing with the wrestlers, in terms of the international title. And then when Takeshita got it back is when we was back in business. So Okada, it would be nice if Okada would have been able to do the same thing. If Okada would have been able to go do that Maple Leaf show that they're going to be doing next month, that would have been great too. I don't know who he would have gone against, but it would have been cool to see him put the title on the line internationally. I'm highly doubting that he ever will with this title reign. CMLL Maple Leaf just signed a collab. Yes, they did. They signed a partnership, which I'm really happy about. We needed this. We needed this because Maple Leaf, they've been around for um, they've been revived for over a year now, and they've been having shows. So they've been putting out shows, but we need a TV deal. And I feel like the more partnerships that they have, the right partnerships too, they'll be able to get more stars to be able to join them when they have their shows. So CMLL, perfect, absolutely perfect. Hechiseto, hopefully he'll be there. I could see Hechiseto being there. I could see a lot of the Don Callis family members being on the Maple Leaf show. So Josh Alexander, he has the Maple Leaf Canadian Championship. He'll be already over there. Don Callis typically does commentary for Maple Leaf. I don't think they announced if he's going to be doing this show. I'm not 100% sure, but he typically does the commentary for them. So we might as well have Don Callis family take over. Why not? Jay Willie said main event Royce Keys. Look, I know what y'all thinking, that this is bad. You know why people are saying this? Because obviously he had the TNT title. He literally just dropped the World Trios title, and y'all want better for him. I get that. I 100% get that. But y'all remember, he's somewhere completely different. Oh, another thing too. You're also looking at the situation with Tommaso, and Tommaso being in the company AEW and winning the TNT title on his first match, his debut match. So I think people are also comparing that to the situation with Powerhouse Hobbs too. TK handed Kevin Knight for his two first AEW matches, none other than Switchblade Jay White and Bruv Will Ospreay, while WWE is offering Kevin Knight a fucking tryout. Let me tell you something, Kevin Knight trying out. Oh, when I tell you, sometimes I really do miss Kevin Knight on New Japan. He's still signed to New Japan, but I think he probably had not many matches last year, not many at all last year. I really enjoyed Kevin Knight in New Japan. I loved him teaming up with Kushida. That was his tag partner in New Japan. I wouldn't offer him no damn tryout. I'll just be like, well, how many zeros? Well, here's a blank check. I would love to have someone like Kevin Knight on the roster. That's interesting because no shade, Powerhouse, how we love you. But if y'all were able to literally just grab Hobbs and put him in the Royal Rumble, why couldn't we go the same route with Kevin Knight? I saw WWE got Eli Knight. Dude has a ton of potential. Hopefully they do not do him wrong. And with Ricky Sosa, WWE ID rumors, I hope they treat the kid well too. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. AEW started streaming on African countries. They also started streaming in France. If the rumors are correct, TK is trying to bring AEW to France. Kuro is red hot in France. Look, the more people who's watching worldwide, the better. Absolutely, because we need to, have more international shows. I would love to see them doing more international shows, especially starting off with Europe. We can definitely do more in Europe for sure. Europeans, they love pro wrestling. I would move around a little bit in Europe for sure, not just the UK. Fletcher listening to MJF interview on Chris Van Vliet. He's already leading into that character. Royce got them keys to them in the television matches. He needs. They'll figure it out. Kuro versus Ricky Sosa from last week. Y'all should check it out. Ricky Sosa has ton of aura. Bang bang Sosa. He's great. I think he's really great. He definitely does have aura about him that I like. I know a lot of people keep saying just put him in WWE, take him to NXT. I don't want him to just pick anything just because people are saying to do it. He's a young guy. Hopefully he figured out what he wants to do and not be peer pressure and just joining any promotion, whatever would be the best for him. If it was about the network, they would have muted it. Yes, they would have muted the situation because it was taped. It was taped. Even when, so you guys don't realize this, live shows, you know, there's a delay. There's a few second delay where if anything happens, they can cut the feed, they can block profanity and things like that. There's a delay. So if the network did not like something, they would have done it even if when they are live. So I don't buy any of these rumors. Like, don't go and listening to everything that you hear because it's not true. Dave Meltzer needs to make sure he got a little quota. He needs gullible fans to click on that link on his fucking website. So he's saying whatever that people may believe. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I've been hearing that both wrestlers and the crowd had tons of fun with the Australian show. Agree TK should do more. Yes, more house shows. You know, it wasn't televised, but I seen some clips that people took from the show. And even AEW, they took pictures and they did post a few things from the house show too. But they should do more. Absolutely. And another thing too, with the whole Australia situation, instead of people being happy about it, people was over here talking about, oh, they only had like 3,000 people there. And this is a shit that I absolutely hate. Y'all over here complaining about 3,000 people. Do you know how many promotions would love to have fucking 300 people sitting watching their show? And y'all over here tripping about 3,000 people or whatever the number was. Like, no matter what AEW does, y'all gonna find something to complain about. Like, y'all never look at the bright side of things. Like, they are literally doing things that promotions that have been around for twice as long, 3 times as longer than AEW are doing. And it's just like, yo, y'all complaining about little shit like that. I'll be peeping. Some of y'all be coming in here just to throw little AEW slander. You know, you're welcome to put whatever you like on the chat, as long as you're not disrespecting anybody. But like, y'all never want to give credit for, you know, the shit that it should get credit for. You know, I don't know what the wrestling market looks like in Australia. That's just the truth. I really don't know what it's like. Obviously, they don't get a lot of big shows, whether if it's with AEW or with WWE or any other promotion. Like, even New Japan don't even go out there. CMLL won't even go out there. So they don't get a lot of big shows. I don't know if that is part of the reason why they don't get a lot of people when they do these type of shows. But you know, also we don't know how it is in terms of like ratings and how many people from Australia are watching. That's another thing too. Ratings are important for the companies. The fans, if y'all want to know the numbers, is whatever. But the companies have to pay attention and be like, all right, we just have our show. Like a month ago, they just had AEW on South Korea. So now they have to pay attention to these shows. How are we doing in terms of numbers in Korea? Oh, okay, this many people are watching. Maybe we should do a show over there. That's what the numbers are there for. So they can pay attention to see what these numbers are looking at different places, so they can have shows internationally and even in the US too. When TK comes to the UK once again, he should do a house show. I agree. But that's all in week. I think they're probably finding themselves too busy to be doing all that. But I agree. AEW just did a house show in Australia. Yes, we were just talking about it. Was like they should do it again or do it more often. I don't think it has to be every week. Collision is sold out too. Sacramento is underrated wrestling market. If that's the case, then they should be coming back again. I would. That's why I said, you know, look at the area. How are we doing in terms of the viewership? Of how we're doing in terms of people coming over to these venues and come back. Having Swerve versus Omega as a main event, TK should have went for a venue that holds more than 3K. Well, he would have sold 5K. He probably would have. I did see comments that people were saying that they tried to get tickets last minute and they were already sold out. You know, they shouldn't sell themselves short depending on where they go. I feel like when they go, they do aim for the smaller venues, which I think is cool anyway. But, you know, certain places, there should be like, all right, you know, we might get a lot more people if we come to New York or if we come to I don't know, Florida, somewhere in Florida or whatever like that. So they could have did more. They could have did more. So I think next time they'll keep that in mind. Do you think TK will do a residency this year like he did with ECW? Oh, um, with that venue, I don't know. That venue, I don't know. I think they probably would. You know, if it was successful the other times that they went over there, I think they can go for that. I did like him performing in Straight Outta Compton, but I can't stand his tribalistic. Oh yes, he is very tribalistic. Not just tribalistic, but once in a while, you know, he'll say positive things about AEW, and then he'll go back to saying like stupid shit about AEW, and I'm just like, bro, like you sound really weird with this bipolar shit you got going on. I think what he does is he's more focused on what his followings are thinking, and I don't care about that shit. Like, even if majority of people feels some type of way, like, be real and put your own opinions out there. You not Don't look for the clout from people by saying what you think people want to hear. Hi Tia, how are you? When Swerve had the Brock Lesnar wannabe. Yes, what's his? Can somebody tell me what his name is? He did look like Brock Lesnar. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I just don't remember his name. So he was there. The other guy with the tattoos. I don't even think he even had a match in AEW. I don't even know his name. I really don't. But anyway, he was there, and I don't even know how they got together. I really don't know. But they got together. I feel like it didn't even work at all. It didn't even work at all. But overall, what needed to work was Prince Nana and Swerve, and that's what we got. So that I'm appreciative of. I heard a dude is wrestling in India. Who was wrestling in India? What's his name, Fletcher? Because I don't remember his name. I don't remember. Swerve turning heel on Prince Nana would have definitely made the crowd. I knew he wasn't going to do it. When he kind of backed him up towards the corner to take the chain off, I was like, he's not going to do it. He wasn't going to turn on Prince Nana because he needs him, you know. And even if we didn't like need him, I wouldn't see why break him up because he's a heel. Prince Nana could be a heel too. It is what it is. I know he probably didn't approve of what happened yesterday, but he's just going to have to get with it. Would have definitely made the crowd shocked. Book it, TK. After all, he's the most dangerous man in AEW. Why does he have a dancing dude with him? No disrespect, Nana. I still think it works. I saw that he still had Prince Nana when he was heel, so it still works. It still works. I know what you're saying. Like, he should be more serious. I get what you're saying, but I think it works. I just pray TK remember he has Jay White. And oh my God, Jay White, I don't know what's going on with that. You know, last time we saw him, he looked good at Wrestle Kingdom. He looked healthy. But is he ring ready? Probably not. Henny got his here. He said, Tati, should I watch? Oh, hell yeah. Don't even think about it. Go watch it. Don't think about it. It's 100% worth the watch. Beautiful match. One of the best match that they've ever had on TV, for sure. Absolutely. What are your thoughts on Jericho contracts being froze? Froze for when? I actually didn't even hear about this. Look, whatever. Look, I don't know what Chris Jericho has to offer in the ring. Now, a backstage role or some type of other role, I don't know how he would do with that. But like in front of the TV, no. TV, Chris Jericho, wrestling. I mean, I haven't liked anything that he's done in the ring. I'm trying to remember the last match that was okay to me was the match that he had at All In with William. That was okay. Yeah, Henny God, don't even think about it. Just watch it. Just watch it. Absolutely amazing. So Chris Jericho, and then the whole thing with him being, with all these factions and nothing really happening with him under his leadership, that doesn't do anything at all. So fans are not necessarily interested in seeing him on TV. Like, we're okay with it. And somehow, some way, people are interested in seeing him in WWE. What is Chris Jericho going to do in WWE right now if we're talking about stories and being in the ring? I'm pretty sure he can do something in the ring, but is anybody interested? I think people are more interested in him leaving AEW to go to WWE, but not necessarily caring about what can he offer WWE if he left. I don't really see anybody being interested. Hey Valentina, how are you? How are you? Tony should defrost that shit and let his ass go. I would let him go. But like I said, a lot of times it's not just like what somebody can offer in the ring. Chris Jericho's a veteran. Like, look, let's be real. Chris Jericho, a legendary wrestler. It's just that since he's been in AEW, outside of the Painmaker situation, Painmaker I thought was okay. I think that was the best that he's ever done in AEW, like as a whole. Other than that, once he started JAS, once he did Inner Circle, and whatever else he was doing, I forgot. That's when I was just like, oh, all right, I'm not entertained anymore. So at that point, nothing really worked out. Like the last little thing that he was doing was with Big Bill and Brian Keith. I never really felt like those two guys worked well with Chris Jericho when we talking about like on screen. Now maybe he gave them really great advice and things like that behind the scenes or whatever, but like on screen, none of that shit works. Who cared about that? No one. They would get more than the E, LOL. Oh, Trench and Parker. There we go. That's the one. Well, I forgot these people's names. Like I haven't seen them in so long. And it didn't last that long. It didn't last that long. But like immediately when you saw it, you're just like, what? Why are these people with Swerve? What is going on here? So I didn't think they were a good fit for him. I don't even know if they were a good fit for the company. Parker, which is the one that kind of looked like Brock Lesnar, I don't remember shit from him. I'm not even going. I was trying to think about his matches. I'm trying to think. Did he even have any matches in AEW? That I can't even remember. But we seen him over NXT. Was he in NXT? Where the fuck was he? He was somewhere. I can't remember anything that this guy has done. So I don't know. The other dude, I didn't even know he was even a wrestler. He looked like some kind of rapper or some shit. But other than that, we still got what we needed from the group, which was Prince Nana and Swerve. So that ended up working out long term. And even with Swerve being a heel right now, I still think that they can be together. The dancing part, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. Maybe he'll be more serious coming out with Swerve. But as long as they don't break them up, then that's all that matters to me. That's all that matters. All right, you guys, we have made it to the end of the show being finished. If anybody want to go back and watch Ring of Honor, it is on the Honor Club. We had some Australian talent in the house. So I like when they do shows like this, when they go to different places and introduce other wrestlers onto the shows. It works out. Yes, he was on NXT. He was on NXT. His head was shaved in NXT. Was it really? I'm trying to remember. You know what? I'm gonna look him up just to look back at some of his matches. I don't even know if he still wrestles. If he does, I don't know where he's at. The other dude, Lord knows what's going on with that. I have no clue. I just didn't feel like there was a fit for the team. There wasn't a fit for the team, and I do feel like I don't know if y'all been paying attention, but Prince Nana, he's been coming out with, for the past few weeks. He's been coming out with a towel that says Embassy on it. I feel like he's trying. He may be trying to get a group going. I forgot to mention that in my review the other day. I think he might be trying to get another group going. If that is the case, I have no clue who's actually a good fit to join Swerve and Prince Nana, like literally right now. Maybe we can entertain the whole thing with AR Fox again. I don't know. But right now, while Swerve is looking to get his hands on the world title, maybe it's just good for just him and Prince Nana for now. But we'll see if they're going to be bringing anyone else to that group. I don't know. All right, y'all. I'll be doing a review on Ring of Honor shortly, and I will see you guys on Saturday with GM for the Collision episode. See you guys then. Good night.